Weekly Threat and Vulnerability Summary, April 5th, April 11th, 2026. Welcome to your weekly threat brief for April 5th to April 11th, 2026. This week we've seen a critical convergence of highly sophisticated exploitation, relentless supply chain attacks, and escalating nation-state activity. The discovery of 13 CVEs mentioned this week. Our CVE Spotlight this week is dominated by vulnerabilities requiring urgent attention. Topping the list is CVE 2026-3502, a zero-day vulnerability in the TrueConf client application with a CVSS score of 7.8. This flaw, stemming from the abuse of TrueConf's updater validation mechanism, allows attackers to distribute and execute arbitrary files. It's been actively exploited in the wild as part of a targeted campaign named True Chaos against government entities and has been added to CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. Another critical area is the highly sophisticated exploit kit targeting Apple iPhone devices, reported on March 4th. This kit has been used in watering hole attacks in Ukraine and financially motivated attacks in Mullah, China. Additionally, CISA has added several other critical vulnerabilities to its KEV catalog due to active exploitation. CVE 226-3516, a Fortinet 40 client EMS improper access control vulnerability, and CVE 2026-1340, an Avanti Endpoint Manager Mobile EPMM code injection vulnerability. Finally, CVE 2025-0492, a Jasper report vulnerability affecting Hitachi Energy Ellipse products, can lead to remote code execution. This week's intelligence reveals a diverse and aggressive threat actor landscape. Iranian state-sponsored or state-aligned threat actors, including the Handala Group, continue to be a significant concern, targeting organizations in the U.S., Israel, and Gulf states, with a focus on healthcare systems, medical infrastructure, and internet-facing operational technology, OT devices like Rockwell Automation, Allen Bradley PLCs. These actors are causing PLC disruptions in critical infrastructure sectors. We also observed the True Chaos campaign, actively exploiting CVE 2026-3502 against government entities in Southeast Asia. Threat actors operating in or core, targeting the Latin America and the Caribbean region, are predominantly using client-server applications and end-to-end encrypted messaging platforms like Telegram for communication and activities. The rise of malware as a service, exemplified by the CrystalX malware promoted in private Telegram chats, highlights the commercialization of cybercrime. Several key incidents underscore the pervasive threats this week. The Axios NPM package was compromised in a supply chain attack, where an attacker introduced a malicious dependency called Plain Crypto.js into new package releases. This follows a broader trend of supply chain attacks, as evidenced by the European Commission confirming a data breach after its Europa.eu platform was compromised through a third-party exchange linked to the Trivi supply chain attack, resulting in data theft from an AWS account. Further highlighting advanced persistent threats, the FBI successfully seized cyber infrastructure linked to the Iranian Handala Group targeting healthcare. And in a notable discovery, Checkpoint Research unveiled a hidden outbound communication path from ChatGPT's isolated execution runtime to the public internet, raising concerns about sensitive data exfiltration. As we look ahead, anticipate continued sophistication in exploit kits and zero-day exploitation, especially targeting mobile devices and widely used enterprise software. Supply chain attacks will remain a prominent threat vector, with adversaries increasingly focusing on open-source libraries and third-party integrations. Nation-state activity, particularly against critical infrastructure and healthcare, will likely intensify, driven by geopolitical tensions. Finally, expect the threat economics to evolve, with continued reliance on aggregated stolen data and the proliferation of malware-as-a-service offerings. Subscribe for weekly technical deep dives from ViewNet.